All right. Hey, thank you for being on our power plan. You guys, it's December 1st. So we have a lot to go over with. Like it's always exciting for a new week, but it's a new month and it's not just any old month, it's December. Like this is it. This is all we've got left for 2019. All the goals you had, all the vision board that you worked on, it ends in 30 days because we've already basically gone through the first day. So how did you guys all like waking up to a big fat zero today, right? You all know that feeling, right? I still remember the very first time I woke up to a zero. I was like, wait, what happened? Something's wrong with the computer. My numbers, where'd all my volume go? I was new, I didn't know. But I hate it. Don't get me wrong, I hate it, but I also love it because we all start back at zero, like everybody. I don't care who in this company you think is utterly amazing and fantastic and la 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 la. They woke up to a big fat zero too. Now, granted, some of them had some volume within 10 minutes, but they all flip back to zero the same way you did. So you have to understand that every single month you have a fresh slate. Every single month. And I mean, honestly, every day you wake up and, God gets you out of bed, you have a fresh slate for that too. But in business, every month you get to start fresh. So this being the beginning of the month, I want us to, obviously we're going to do our power planning, but we're also going to talk a little bit about planning the month. Because if there is any month of your lifetime that is going to go by in a blink of an eye, you all know it is definitely December, right? It's already, I don't know, it's like Thanksgiving, and then before you know it, it's spring. So what I want you to do is take a look at your monthly calendar. Like before you pull out your 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, before you look at your week, I want you to pull out your monthly calendar. Everybody does it a little differently. I have one of those giant ones that I keep on my desk. Some of you have like in your planner where you get to flip to the month. I am just going to tell you a few things that I always keep on my monthly planner, because here's the thing. If you plan out your day-to-day, that's awesome. If you plan out your week, that's awesome. But your day-to-day and your week can sometimes get jumbled and mixed up if you don't have the big picture in front of you. So that's why I always like to make sure I have my month in front of me. Then I have a much better time. Well, honestly, it just makes it easier to plan your day-to-day, because when you have the month in front of you and you know what's coming up, it's easier to do it. So let me run you through just some things that I make sure I keep on my calendar for the month. You guys can jot these down. You can put them on your calendar if you've got it in front of you, however you want to do it. Obviously on Sundays, I have the power plan written down because that's the one that I'm in charge of hosting. So, and I use some colors just to help me know what I'm looking at. So that one's in yellow. And then there are a lot of other power planning sessions throughout the week that I'm not responsible for hosting, but if I'm able, I like to get on. So I have those written down also, but they're not highlighted in yellow because it's not like a boom, got to do it kind of thing. It's one of those that if I'm able to do it, I do it. So for sure, anything you're responsible for, like a team, like if you have a team and maybe you have a weekly message that you try to put in, maybe you try to do a weekly live, whatever it is that you're doing on a weekly basis all month for your team, you want to make sure you have that written down. We also, as a team, do we call it the Dream Team Zoom. We do that on Monday nights. That's also something that I'm responsible for. So that is on my calendar as well. Because yes, I know I do it every single Monday night, but it is so easy for somebody to say, hey, Tammy, can you come do this Monday night and help us with blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, oh yeah, sure. Because sometimes my calendar's on in front of me and I just totally black out and forget. So it's so important for me to have that written down. Some of the other big things that I make sure I have written down every month. Tomorrow is free credit day. Yes, it's the second of every month. Yes, I should know that, but I'm telling you, sometimes it tries to slip past me. So tomorrow is free credit day. So I have that written on my calendar. They've got bubbles around them and they're highlighted in hot pink. The 5th, the 15th, and the 25th. And case in point, here's the reason it's so important to look at your month ahead of time. The 5th and the 15th for auto ships, I'm assuming are exactly what they're supposed to be. You guys, Christmas is the 25th. So they're not going to run on the 25th. My guess is they're going to run on the 23rd or the 24th. So I actually have a note for myself on the 23rd. It says auto ship ? Because I don't want to wait until closer to that to be like, oh, they ran auto ships early and I forgot to remind people. So I'm just putting it on there now so I can keep my eyes open for some sort of notification, some sort of email, something from the company, because I can guarantee they're not going to run on Christmas. They're going to probably do them a day or two before. And again, that's just something, yes, I know every year Christmas is on the 25th, but until I looked at my calendar and went, oh, auto ship on the 25th, that probably won't happen. It's that big picture, staring at that big picture. If you are hosting a local or going to a local or several locals, whatever it is you're doing, we as a team have a holiday party on the 12th. So that's on my calendar. So if you're on Dream Team, make sure that's on your calendar, the 12th. I'll have the official flyer for that out soon. The other thing I do is I take on the Saturday, I have my goal. So for example, for easy math, if you have, let's say your goal is 4K, at the end on the 7th, you need to be at 1K. On the 14th, you need to be at 2K, so on and so forth. So you want to take your monthly goal, break it down by the number of weeks. And yes, there's basically 4 and 3 days, but let's be honest, you're going to miss a couple of days with Christmas and you're going to miss some time with Christmas Eve and New Year's Eve. So basically on the 7th, 14th, 24th, and 28th of this month, that's where I have my volume goals. Now, just because you put $1,000 on the 7th doesn't mean that if you don't have $1,000 by the 7th, that you're never going to meet your goal. It's just a good way to keep your mind on the prize. Some of you will hit that 7th and be ahead of your goal. Some of you will be a little bit behind, but as you know, ebbs and flows, ebbs and flows. So it's just good to have that in front of you though. So take your monthly goal, whether you're shooting for 4K, 12K, 40, 80, 200, whatever you're shooting for, divide it in 4 and put that on the Saturdays of the month of December, because that will help you keep your mind wrapped around, especially the one that you put on the 28th, because I don't care what you're doing or where you're at. If you look at your goal on the 28th and you see what you're supposed to be and where you are, you got 3 days to bust it out. And you guys know amazing things can happen in 24 hours. So you know amazing things can happen in 72. So make sure you have that, there for you. And then obviously I have the holidays. I have this is my life right here. I have my bills that are due. Like everything is on this monthly calendar. But the reason I like to do this is because now when I sit down to start looking at my week for this week, I already know tomorrow's free credit day. So I'm going to reach out to people that have free credits. We're going to help them spend their credits, right? Or we're going to help them figure out a way to use their credits to possibly get their refer to. I know for a fact on this Thursday, we have an auto ship going out. So I already know for my reach outs, I need to be following up with anybody and my dogs always like to play with loud things once we start these videos. Anybody that has an auto ship, you know that we're going to reach out to them. We're going to follow up with them. We're going to see, what can we add to it? What can we change? Are we thinking gifts yet? Do they want to start buying a little extra? All that stuff. So yes, I know it's repetitive things. And yes, every single month I basically flip to the new page and I write down all the same stuff, but repetition is good. It seals it up here. And it also helps you plan your week. So make sure you get your month planned. And I don't mean every nook and cranny, but just the big stuff, because then you can start filtering down from there. All right, is everybody with me? All right, so before we dive into our plan, and I'll try to hurry because I'm already 8 minutes in here. I want you guys to think, daggone it. I want you guys to think about, again, I've already said it's December. I know, I'll probably repeat myself a million times. And I don't even have children, but I know how crazy my December gets. So for any of you with kids, grandkids, whatever, your life has got to be like insane times 10 as far as I'm concerned. So what I want you to think about, what we're going to do instead of I ams tonight. Oh my gosh, Diesel. He wants his 2 minutes of fame. Tonight, instead of I ams, we are going to do non-negotiables. And I want you to come up with 5 daily non-negotiables for your business. And here's why I want to bring this up for you. Things are going to be busy. A sale is going to happen. A cake's going to have to be made. A present's going to have to be wrapped. Somebody's going to call and stop by. For all you know, somebody might land on your doorstep and be like, surprise, we're here for the holiday. What are 5 non-negotiable things for your business that no matter what happens or what will be happening later in that day or what's planned that afternoon, what are you going to do? Yes, obviously you could say the 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, but I want you to think about you, your business, your life, your schedule, and I want you to decide what are the absolute non-negotiables. I know for me in the month of December, one of my non-negotiables is I will absolutely make contact with my team in one way, shape, or form every single day in the month of December. Every single day. Can't go a Tuesday without popping into my team page, doing something to connect to my team. Why? Because my team is super busy in the month of December, and I need to make sure that they know where I am and what's going on. And if they choose to participate, fabulous. If they don't, that's okay. I know I did my part, right? So that is one of mine. So start thinking about some of your non-negotiables. Obviously, I hope you put your reach outs on there. You know, selfishly, I hope you put your reach outs on there. Stick with that. But let's be honest and think about what are 5 things every single day, whether it's hopping on a Zoom, whether it's obviously doing your reach outs, maybe, you know, maybe you want to make December even a little more crazy for yourself, but better for your business. And you're like, I'm going to do a live every single day for 30 days because we're down 1 day, whatever it is. I want you to write down the non-negotiables that you're going to do, because I can promise you when the poo hits the fan, and it will because it's December, you're going to have this list to go back to and say, you know what? I know things got crazy today, but I got these 5 things I'm going to do before my eyes or before my head hits the pillow and I close my eyes. So I'll give you a couple minutes to think about that. It's 11 minutes after 7. We'll go till 7:14. I was ready for the Zoom, but I didn't have my paper. All right, I'm going to let you guys keep thinking. I know I said I would give you longer, but I'm going to keep talking because I don't want to run out of time. Okay, so we're talking about the 5 daily non-negotiables. While you're at it, some of the things that come to your mind are you're probably going to think, oh, yeah, but that's not a daily thing. Maybe it's a weekly thing. So, for example, I try to do some sort of promo every week, whether it's team-wide or for a certain leg that might be struggling, or maybe it's for new people, or maybe it's for level 1s, whatever it is. I try to do something every single week. So that's something I established a long time ago, but maybe that's something you want to do in the month of December. Maybe you're like, okay, weekly, I'm going to do a team promo, or maybe weekly, you're going to do a live, whatever it is. So think about the 5 non-negotiables. If you come up with something that you're like, that's super important for my business, but it's not something I'm going to do every day, then go ahead and write it down and make that a weekly non-negotiable. You gotta label it non-negotiable, because if you don't, you're going to start negotiating with yourself, right? You've all been there. You start going, it's not that bad. I'll do it tomorrow. I'll get to that later. We've all had this conversation with ourselves. And then before you know it, it's 3 days later and it didn't happen. So you just got to label it non-negotiable, remind yourself it's non-negotiable, and you'll do it. That's how it works. A couple of mine just to help you. Oh, wait. Lives need to be about Thriver. I say about anything. I think anytime you get, so I'm sorry, Sonia's asking, if you're saying I'm going to do a Facebook Live, does it have to be about Thriver? Can it be about anything? Your social media is all about you. So if you happen to be, so let's say you're at the Dream Team holiday party and you do a live, that'll be about you and your friends. Obviously there'll be some Thrive in the background. If you want to do one in the morning about you mixing up your cafe, but if, it just needs to be about you. And so, yeah, if sometimes Thrive sneaks in, absolutely. That's who you are. That's what you do. But it doesn't always have to be hey, this is me. I'm here to tell you about my Thrive. It doesn't have to be like that. I just think it needs to be you reaching out to people so they can see who you are. And so, yeah, if you happen to be doing something Thrive related at the time, great. If not, that's okay. You do have a life outside of your Thrive business. Something I heard on a podcast, they were talking about how underpriced the advertising in stories, like when I say stories, like Facebook stories or Instagram stories, how underpriced the advertising is because there's so much attention going to stories. And I'm guilty of that too. I would so much rather sit there and flip through stories all day than like scroll. But so think about that as you are creating your stories. Your story is designed to be snippets of your day. It's kind of like a behind the scenes. And so in between my behind the scenes, every 3 to 4 behind the scenes, I throw out something Thrive related. It's basically an advertisement that's showing up in my story. And then I try to make sure the very next thing is not Thrive related and it goes back to being me. Because when you get on people's stories and it's too much, instead of clicking, you swipe and you go on to the next person. So, let it be about my life, about my life, about my life. Oh, Thrive, about my life, about my life, about my life. Oh, Thrive. Like, go ahead and throw those in. So, for example, I wrote down here, in addition to contacting my team and my daily reach outs, which I up to 10, by the way, because it's December. Did I mention it's December? I want to make sure I have 2 Lavelle/Thrive stories in my feed, in my story feed, not my Facebook feed, in my story feed a day. So if I'm doing 2 of those a day, that means I've got to make sure I'm doing probably 6 or so of the other. And here's another thing I heard in a podcast from a person who I think is a genius. And it's one of those things I struggle with, and you guys all probably struggle with it too. Don't post too much. Don't share too much. Don't post too much. Basically, here's the thing. If someone is liking and loving and commenting on your stuff, they're your fan. Like, for lack of a better word. It might be your mom, but it's your fan as far as social media goes. So let's say you made 5 posts today. Yes, your fan is going to see all 5. So is it too much for them? Probably not. Because why? Because they like you. They like what you put out. They follow you for a reason. The more content you can put out consistently on, like, not just on, like, don't go do 50 posts on Facebook a day, something like that. But like, if you do maybe 5 here and 5 there, or tweet there, Sandra, you do a tweet there, something like that. I was telling Tom the story this morning, or this tonight. You're going to get more exposure eventually. And I used to worry it's going to be too much. It's going to be too much. It's only going to be too much for somebody who doesn't like you. And that's okay. They're not commenting and liking on your stuff anyway. The people who are probably going to see it and they're okay with it. So don't let that stop you. Just keep creating content for what it is that you do, for what your life is about, for what you believe in, for what you stand for, all that kind of jazz. And just play with that a little bit. See if you can't get some, like, if you're a person who's only putting out Thrive stuff, obviously you're going to drive somebody crazy. But if you start putting out things that you love, you're going to start bringing more people in. And it's okay if it's a little bit extra posting than what maybe you've done in the past. Just play with that some and see what happens with your Facebook. And again, if you're doing your reach outs and you're contacting people and private messaging people, that whole algorithm thing is going to start picking up on who you're talking to, and they're going to show. Okay, so for example, let's say I send, maybe Sandra and I haven't seen each other since high school, and I send her a message and we kind of go back and forth. She is going to start seeing more of my stuff because Facebook's like, oh, hey, they're friends. They're talking. They've had a couple messages back and forth. If Sandra starts commenting on my post, starts giving me hearts, giving me likes, Facebook's be like, oh, yep, we were right. They're friends. We're going to keep doing it. If she doesn't respond to anything I post, doesn't heart, like, whatever, Facebook will be like, oh, well, they had a conversation. We'll just throw some Tammy at her every blue moon, but not a whole lot. See what I'm saying? So you have to do the groundwork with the contacting and the messaging and the commenting and the question asking, which I know sometimes we like to complain like that's a hard job, but it's so totally not a hard job, right? Like, people are out laying asphalt for a living, and I'm sitting in here asking someone about their dog. So it's not a hard job, okay? So you have to do that groundwork, and then from there, just start posting and see what you can turn, like, what can you churn up? And again, be super honest and real in your posts. Like, only talk about stuff you care about, that you truly love or like. Don't be fake, because then you're going to get people following you that are a little bit weird. All right. So anyway, I don't even know why or how I got on that topic. So does anybody else know how or why I got on that topic? I have no clue. All right. Anyway, so we got our non-negotiables every day because it's December and things are going to get crazy. We have some weekly, oh, I know, we were talking about your lives, some weekly non-negotiables. And I want you guys, you don't have to do it right now because you're probably like me, jotting it down in a piece of paper. When we get done with this, I want you to take a clean sheet of paper and in your best, most fancy handwriting, I want you to write those 5 non-negotiables down. And I want you to put them someplace where you will see them. And if you need, write it on 5 sheets of paper, put 1 in the bathroom, 1 in your office, 1 in your car, 1 in your purse. Keep those in front of you during the month of December because you're going to need them because it's the month of December. All right. So with that, let's talk about our reach outs this week. Like I said, tomorrow we have free credit day. Who do you know that's thriving for free? You're going to want to definitely contact them. Who isn't yet thriving for free? Because you probably have credits that you can go and look at and say, hey, Sally, I know you had 1 customer referral last month. Let's keep in contact with her, because I say it all the time, there's no such thing as a spare customer. If you had a new customer in the last few months and they reordered last month, especially on auto ship, they're like your best friend. You want to keep them. So shoot them a card, send them a sample at a cafe, whatever the heck you've got on your shelf. Tell them how much you are appreciative that they support your business and that they are allowing you to help them feel better. Contact that person who ordered. Do not let that person. So, okay, my sister ordered some of those nail stickers, Color Street nail stickers. She was ecstatic that this girl sent her some free stickers as a thank you for placing an order. Ecstatic. She couldn't wait to put them all. She had 5 different colors on her hand. She was so excited. You guys, our customers would feel the same exact way. The same exact way. You know how you are. I was doing Small Business Saturday. I'm pointing out my window to downtown yesterday. I got a free chapstick. I didn't need a chapstick, but it was pretty freaking neat. They gave me a free chapstick for coming in and buying something. Do not overestimate that little gesture, how much it means to people. So think about that. Anybody that placed an order, I don't care if they placed 4 orders last month or if they placed an order every month for the last 4.5 years. Tell them thank you. Send them something for free. They will love it. Sandra, you're unmuted.
Okay, so I sent all of my customers and some of my promoters little thank you cards. The promoters who just kind of order those packets and stuff, and what have you. So I sent them that along with a thing of blast, but I sent them all a little Thanksgiving card. Then whenever I was doing that local with Lisa Cook, those little cards that she had done with the 1, 2, 3, she was going to send all those in a Christmas card to all of her customers that are like on her list. Some of those who have ordered and some of them have not, but she was going to send that out in a Christmas card.
Yes, and I love that idea. For those of you who are not on Dream Team, I think she shared that in our Dream Team Zoom, not the open one. Mm-hmm. So basically what she did was, excuse me, she had the skin samples, the 1, 2, 3 skin samples, and she just had like a piece of cardstock and she just taped them 1, 2, 3 to one side. On the opposite side was a picture of the skincare set. So that's what Sandra is saying. She's just taking that and sliding that in a Christmas card and mailing it out to people. And again, it's nothing mind-blowing, but do you not love when you get a sample, especially as a woman, and you get a skincare sample? You're unmuted.
And one of the ones that I sent, the customer messaged me and she's like, hey, so is this for da-da-da-da-da? So I explained to her exactly what blast was for, and she went and ordered it 2 days later.
See? Samples, samples, samples. Not like, I'm not a huge like 1, 2, 3 sampler and all that jazz, but freebies for people who are buying from you. The best thing you can do is take a happy thriver and introduce them slowly but surely to some other things that they could be purchasing every single month on their auto ship. And so if that's a pack of Blast, a pack of Cafe, or whatever, they mail really easily, and it's worth it to do that. So I say this week, we're going to make our reach outs in the form of a thank you card. I want you to go through anybody who has an auto ship coming up and contact them directly by texting or emailing, because especially if it's on the 5th, you don't have a lot of time for the mail. But after, so let's say I'm going to reach out to Courtney and be like, hey, Court, you got your auto ship coming up on the 5th, and then I don't know, like, let's say Courtney maybe she's in her 2nd month and we've talked a lot about, I don't know, weight loss. And I can be like, hey, Court, your auto ship's coming up. I think this is the month that we could probably add Sculpt and get you started on that. Let's talk about that. Send her some information on Sculpt, get that going back and forth, back and forth. And then no matter how it ends, at the end of the day, I'm still going to put a little thank you card and be like, such a blast getting to thrive with you, or it's, you know, it's getting cold here as a cafe, or whatever. Heck, I don't know. Part of me is like, put some Sculpt in a little baggie, but it might look like drugs. So don't do that. I don't think that's a good idea now that I said that. So anyway, but you know what I'm like, let that person know. So not only will she be like, oh my gosh, she contacted me and she was helping me get my auto ship right. She'll get something in the mail a few days later to remind her how much you care about her. I cannot stress enough how important it is. So we're going to talk to everybody we can about free credits. You're going to look at what kind of credits you have for the week, and you're going to start going down your list of customers and see who needs to thrive for free. So we're going to use the credits you have to help people thrive for free. And you're going to reach out to everyone that you know is going to be thriving for free because they got credits. And you're going to help them place their next order by making some suggestions. How are they feeling? What's going on in life? Is there anything we can do to tweak the Thrive experience to make this better for you? You never know. Maybe it's time for them to change up a DFT. Maybe they want to add in Sculpt. Maybe last month you sent them some Blast and they want to order it this time, right? It's a constant building thing. So I think our big reach outs this week are obviously the credits and auto ship for sure. No doubt about that. Follow-ups. If you are doing these planning Zooms consistently, you've got your follow-ups there. Everybody you talked to the last couple of weeks, right? You've already got the names written down. You've got some conversations going. Dive in with those follow-ups. We talked about social media for the week. Don't be afraid to start spreading your wings and go ahead and make a couple, maybe just one extra post than what you would have, and just see what happens, because in the background, you're doing all the contacting and the messaging. So I just want to see how your social media changes for that. Absolutely. Do not forget to be connecting people with, I don't even want to say your upline, somebody, connect them with somebody. I forget who it was that told a story one time, like when you're trying to talk, like let's say those pictures back there behind my head are what I want to sell you, but I am standing here talking to you about it, and I'm talking to you about it, and I'm talking to you about it. If I would just step the hell out of the way and let the person next to me tell you about it, you could not only talk to someone, but you could see what they were talking about, right? You make a much better window when you get out of the way than a door when you're standing in the, like you're literally standing between the person and what you're trying to sell them. So step back, put somebody in a group message, get them on the phone if they want, whatever the situation is, but you don't have to do all the talking. And actually people, I think, prefer when someone else, I mean, it's weird, but people really seem to respond when someone else comes into a chat or into a conversation and starts to talk as the outside person. So don't literally stand in the way of your customer making a decision. Let me see, let me get rid of this here. There was something else. Oh, I know what I wanted to do really quick before we get off here. I want to follow up. So last week, Sandra led. The week prior to that, in the power planning, I talked about, I think it was power planning, maybe it was Dream Team. Somebody help me if I'm totally screwing this up. But I think I talked about, to this group, finding some way to volunteer your time in the month of December. Was it this group or was it Dream Team? Dream Team? Oh, never mind. Well, for my Dream Teamers, we're going to follow up tomorrow, and I'm going to want to know where you're volunteering. For those of you that aren't on Dream Team, though, I threw out a challenge to my team, apparently, to find places in December that you could volunteer your time. So, for example, wrapping gifts, distributing food, shop with a cop, not just like buying the gift and dropping it off, but where you were physically there helping at the event, helping people, because that is a great way to build your circle and your network and connect with other people. So that was a challenge I threw out to them. And what the heck, I'll throw it out to all of you too, since we're already all on here together. Okay, so also don't forget about birthday reach outs. You guys, birthday reach out should be a no-brainer. And I'm going to throw this out. I don't know if it's going to happen. I am hoping like the dickens that we wake up to some Christmas DFT tomorrow. Anybody? Right? So let's hope that happens. And if it does, that gives you an entire other set of reach outs and messages to be sending to people, because gosh, if you ordered them tomorrow, most people would have them by Wednesday through Friday, which I feel like we're going to want them by then. So yeah, let's hope for a Christmas DFT. And I hope by the end of the month, we have one of those rebate things going, but we'll see. So anyway, birthday reach outs, free credit reach outs, auto ships, maybe a Christmas DFT reach out. You have plenty of reasons to be talking to people, plenty. use your stories, make it about yourself, but let a little thrive slip in every now and then, because again, that is the biggest, like that's the biggest attention spot right now. That's where the majority of people are spending their time. And you want to be where people are spending their time. So, oh, Cyber Monday. Courtney, thank you. Yes. Okay. For some of you, Courtney, you're probably the youngest one. Oh, Olivia. For some of you young folks, there actually was a time where the only computer you had was at work. And so Cyber Monday became a thing. You would wait all weekend to go to work to get paid on someone else's dime, but use their computer to place some Christmas shopping orders, which seems weird because now we all have one of these and we could be shopping from the toilet any time of day. But tomorrow is Cyber Monday. So if you don't see something from Lavelle, and again, we're very spoiled to the point where we kind of expect stuff. Don't expect it. Just dive in with your own deal. Come up with something on your own tomorrow. And all those people that you're reaching out to, you can just do something as simple as, hey, I've got a Cyber Monday deal, any interest. What did I send out something earlier this week? And I actually got, I think I told you guys, I was like, holy moly, she actually responded. Like I didn't even think it was a real thing. I basically said to the lady, where did it go? I said, hey, I know it's been a while since we talked about Thrive, but I've got some discounts I can use before month end. Any interest? She was interested. She never responded to anything. So you could totally reword that and be like, hey, I know maybe it's been a while, or hey, just wanted to talk to whatever you're going to open up with this person I hadn't talked to for a while, but I have some discounts for Cyber Monday. Any interest? And just leave it at that. If they're interested, they will let you know. Keep it short, keep it simple. And then the nice thing about that is, depending, like when she wrote me back and said, yeah, she was interested, I said, what's your, goal? Well, currently this lady is super into working out and wanted to talk about muscle and muscle retention and yada, yada, yada. So basically it boiled down to a Thrive experience with form. Guess what she got for free? Her form, because I had some discounts, and by golly, it just happened to be for form, right? No, it's whatever. It's just what it was. So same thing, when they say they're interested, to be like, great, let's talk about what's going on in your life. What are your goals? Based on their goals, look on your shelf, look in your credits, look in your heart. What do you got? Reach to your upline. What do they have on their shelf? That could be whatever your Cyber Monday deal is. So be creative with it. Don't let that slip you by. Does anybody have any questions or anything else I'm forgetting? Comments, ideas, thoughts? Nope. All right. Hit those 5, 4, 3, 2, 1s this week. You guys have plenty of reasons to be reaching out to people. And happy December. Bye.